We are. It's recording. Welcome, everybody. This is Christine Till, the LinkedIn Marketing Mentoress, starting our first conference call for all the authors of our awesome mentorship book. I'm going to have one here and put it up on the screen. This is truly a momentous opportunity for us. The thing that struck me is because oh, yay! Good for you, Eva! Yay! Now you see what it looks like, Mary Lou. You see that? Oh, you don't. You're on the phone. You'll see it when we send you the recording. So we're recording it, and then we'll send it out to everybody afterwards, okay? So here are some things that I thought about when we got the book, and I never even thought to ask Dorothy if she had a marketing plan in place for everybody to market the book so that we can get sales. And I went through this with my own book, and I discovered that, and I went through a legitimate publisher, and I discovered that publishers don't do anything to help you market your book. Everything is up to us as the individual authors to market our books. So when we market our books, it's up to us to get as much information as we possibly can. So here's 5 keys I want to share with you. Number 1, do you have an email list?
Yes.
I
do, Mary Lou. Mary Lou, I do.
Because you've been doing your newsletters. Number 2.
Yeah, I've got close to 1,000 permission-based.
That is awesome. Number 2, do you have a blog? I know you do, Mary Lou.
Yeah.
And a blog that you write in regularly.
Yep.
And number 3, are you on LinkedIn with a professional profile and a company page for your book, for the book only?
No. Not on no, not yet. Yeah, we're hoping you're going to help us with that, Christine.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll do that on a separate telecast or webinar. I'll see how time goes tonight. I might be able to share my screen and show you how to do that. So that's LinkedIn. LinkedIn, you have your main profile, your professional profile, but you can set up as many company pages on LinkedIn as you want for free. So I have my Marketing Mentoress company page, I have my webinar company page, and now I'm going to have this book company page for our mentorship for women. That's LinkedIn. Facebook is the same thing. You have your profile on Facebook. Set it up as professional as you possibly can, and then have a book page, a company page for your company. They can all be separate pages, and you can send them out different days. Don't send them out the same day. Send them out different days. So, for instance, today you could go in and set up your company page for the book, and then send it out and invite all of your peeps to like your page. That is part of getting people to know all about your book, right? And then number 5 is Twitter. We all need to be on Twitter. Now, here's the goods about all of the stats about all these platforms. LinkedIn, you need to be posting on there 4 to 8 times a day. Facebook, you need to be posting on there 8 to 10 times a day. Twitter needs to have a post going up on there 15 times a day. So 8 to 15 times a day is what I teach all my clients. And it sounds like it's really daunting, but read the book. Go through the book and find all the other authors and their topics. And so here's the how you post, the numbers, okay? Out of every 10 posts, 6 of them are things that you repost from somebody else that is general enough about your type of business that you can repost it. So some tips that somebody else has posted, or a quote from Abraham Lincoln. I'm just using him as an example. Then 3 of the posts, so then the next 3 posts, get my fingers working right here, are things that you've written, that you've done yourself. So what you can do if you've done newsletters, but not necessarily blog, you can go into your newsletter cache and take some of those newsletters and recreate them into blogs. So that's 3. And number 1 is a pitch to get people to buy your book. So you have a link to your site on Amazon where they can go to buy your book. So those are the 5 platforms that we need to work with. Questions?
Okay, quick question.
Yeah.
On Amazon, do each of us have to have a link, or do each of us have a link to our book on Amazon, or is there only one link?
There should only be one link because it's published through Womanition. Okay?
Right.
And we are on Amazon.com and Amazon.uk, as far as I know. The publisher that Dorothy worked with said it's not really of good use, doesn't make sense to be on Amazon.ca because they don't have that much notoriety. There's not that many people that visit it. So .com and .uk are the 2 best ones. The reason we're on .uk is because then all the people overseas can have easier access to buying the book. If we're just on Amazon.com, then the people in the UK and Australia and any other countries have a really difficult time getting the book, and it costs them huge money in shipping. So those are...
Right. Well, I have 2 questions.
Okay.
One is, since we've written it in Canadian English and we're all Canadian authors, does it not make sense to be on .ca and perhaps even on like indigochapters.ca?
Well,
or can we not get it on the chapters one?
I'm not sure. I'll check with Dorothy on that. That's a really good question. I'm just going to make a note, chapters.ca, Indigo Books.
And just to, while we're on that subject too, I know that local artists have had, you know, launch days at Chapters and launch days at, well, Greenwood's probably not around anymore, but local bookstores too. So I know we're talking about internet right now, but yeah, I just want to make sure we get that on the list as well.
Well, here's, okay, I'm going to keep on working through this list here, okay, that I've got. So have any of you written, published another book, co-authored or been the sole author of another book?
I'm co-authored.
Yes, you have, Lil. You've got several that you've done, more than quite a few. And so if you've got other books that you've written as well, you can reach out to that audience that purchased that other book, right? So you can have a list to build from. Now we're going to talk about building our list so that we can have people to tell about things and offer special deals. And now I really want to see us be able to make this book a bestseller on Amazon. However, I'm going to put a caveat there, because a lot of people in the book publishing industry have really poo-pooed the bestseller idea on Amazon, because what's happened in the past is people have gone in on one day and just put a big order in and bought the books themselves. Or they had several people just go put in big orders in. And that's not the way we're going to do it. We're going to make our book a bestseller legitimately. And but it's only by working together and getting people to go in on November 23rd. That's going to be our official launch date. We're going to get people to go in and everybody order their book on Amazon.com. And so while we're at the Biz Brigade, we're going to have everybody divided into alphabetically into groups and invite them. They don't have to do this, but invite them to go on to Amazon to purchase the book and order it. so that we can drive the numbers legitimately. And to make all their Christmas orders, anybody that they think that they could order the book for Christmas, sure, they're going to pay a little bit more than if they buy it directly from us, but it's going to drive our numbers legitimately to bestseller. And
okay, so what are we counting as bestseller? The best-selling book in its category of that day on that day, or are we actually counting a total number of sales over 5,000 in Canada?
No. Total number of sales over 5,000 in Canada will get you on the bestseller list on just about any New York Times and any of the major areas. But Amazon is only 500 to 1,000. If we get more than that, awesome. We can be on those other lists, right? And I think what if we've got 24, 25 authors in this book? So if each of us only have 100 people, just look at all the numbers of people we can reach with this program. So it's all about numbers and special offers. So on the day of October 23rd, which is going to be our official big launch.
No, November or October?
Or pardon me, October 23rd, sorry. Thanks for correcting me.
Okay, so October 23rd.
All the authors, just a minute, all the authors are going to think of a very special offer that they can give to people who purchase the book that day. So the book has to be purchased between 1 o'clock in the morning on the 23rd and 11 o'clock at night, so that we don't have any overlaps of anybody missing the deadline for the special offers. So each of us have to think, my special offer is going to be all around what I do as a coach for LinkedIn. So my special offer is going to be huge. It's going to be $600 worth of coaching to help people with their LinkedIn to get their whole marketing program together. And the coaching will not necessarily be one-on-one. It might be by webinar, depends on how many people take advantage of it and call me. And because there's only one of me, but I will spend time with all of these people so that each one of you can think what you're going to do. Okay, questions?
Okay, so the launch is October 23rd, same as the Biz Brigade.
That's right, same day as the Biz Brigade.
So we don't put any orders in for any books until October 23rd?
No, you can order as many books at the wholesale price as you want before then. They will,
okay.
Will have the number of books you order now will have no effect on whether you're a bestseller or not.
Okay, good. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's only when they go and purchase it legitimately through Amazon that the numbers.
At retail. At retail.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I can't, I mean, you said a lot of people just go in and buy a bunch to jump the numbers up, but I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But here, if we do it legitimately, so for instance, I've got 8 kids, 8 Christmas presents, which I'm going to spend about $30 to $35 per kid anyway. So why not get them my book, right? So legitimately, we can order 7 or 8 copies so that we can have them to go out to our family for Christmas if people wanted to do that, right?
Yeah.
But if you order, and what I'm trying to help people avoid is going on to Amazon and ordering 100 books. You know, that's to me, that's not legitimately getting to best selling.
Christine?
Yes.
When someone calls into Amazon or goes on to Amazon.com to order, how do we get any credit for that? You know, as a separate author.
Okay, we're going to touch on that.
Okay.
So when your friends go on Amazon.com, what you do is you get them to write a review about your part of the book, and then fit that in with what they think about the whole book, right?
Okay.
So you get the people, all the people that, let me go through my list here so I don't forget something. It's one of the things on my list.
Okay.
Okay, so the more books that you have written beforehand, the more virtual shelf space you have, and the easier you're going to be to find. So Lil, you've got a leaps and bounds ahead of us. Your name's going to show up easier on Amazon than anybody else's, because your name is in all these different books.
Okay, so, and then Dorothy, because I know on the other books, I can add my name to that book as a co-author.
Yes.
So does Dorothy already have like the Amazon thing for us to add our names as co-author?
Well, let's make sure she does, okay?
Okay.
Add our names as co-author.
And with
Down.
all these other books that I've been involved in, because basically I've just been told what to do and I do it. So I don't, and I know that's what they've done. Like they just set it up. So it's basically, they give us the link. We go on to Amazon and add our name as a co-author.
Okay. Then
So-
we'll have to talk to Dorothy and get the link from Dorothy to do that. Now, like I said, I didn't say anything about this beforehand. I just assumed Dorothy had a plan in place. And then when she started giving us our books willy-nilly, I went, shouldn't we have a plan to make our book a bestseller and do it legitimately? And so then she went, oh, right. Okay. So promotion, yes? Somebody have a question? Okay. So the next point. Have you done some kind of promotion or marketing to let people know your book is here? And we told everybody to stop marketing the book until we had this call, because what will happen is if we all now start going out within the next 24 hours, sending out our messages to our tribe, so to speak, and our peeps, then it will just blast, and it'll be huge, and it'll create a great big momentum for the book, for people to go and buy our book. So what we want to do is we want to lead up to the launch, telling everybody to get ready to buy the book on October the 23rd and put their orders through on the 23rd. And I will also get my radio program going. We're going to be talking about it with Dorothy and doing an interview on my radio show. And so that will make it happen. And so what I need each of you to do is to decide what you're going to give as your special offer, and send Dorothy, or I think it'd be best for you to send Dorothy the email as to what you're going to do for your special offer. And then she can add it together. And the people buy the book and they get this huge special offer of 25 things or 24 things. It's going to be phenomenal. And here's the thing too. And if you're scared about offering too many people your time, here's what I've discovered. Most of the people that take advantage of this special offer don't. You'll find that maybe about 3 to 10% of all the people that take advantage of the special offer will take it.
I still have another question about what is it that's going to determine that it's a bestseller? Is it total number of books sold over a period of time?
Yes.
Or is it the number of books sold in one day?
In one day. The period of time is one
So-
day on Amazon. We have to sell 500 to 1,000 books. So our goal is to break 1,000 books, so we make sure that we're a bestseller.
Okay, so who says we're a bestseller and why 1,000?
Amazon will send a report to I don't know, to either Dorothy or her publisher. I think it's one of the two, and let us know that we have become bestsellers in certain categories.
Yeah, and I think Dorothy
Right.
wants to pick the categories also, because she has to
Yeah.
pick which categories the book is.
That's
in.
right. That's
So,
right.
and then, so we could be like bestseller in 2 categories or 5
Yeah.
categories or whatever. It's
Yeah.
depending on the total amount of books in that category that is sold in that day, and then that determines at what position we're at.
Yeah.
So, quick question on that, Lil, is if we're listed in, say, 5 categories, or 25, because we actually have 25 topics. So let's say we're listed in 25 categories, and one book sells. Does that list it as a sale in each category, or are the categories selected at the time of purchase?
The categories are selected when Dorothy puts the book on Amazon.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, a person buys a book, which category gets credit?
They all,
I think all of the categories that Dorothy has listed would get like,
Right. So
and then it just depends now. Say we were in self-help. We're not going to be, but we'll just say that. And so if there was, we'll say 500 books were sold in that day in the self-help category from everybody else, it would just depend on where we come in at that to determine if we're like a bestseller or not.
right.
yeah, that's what I thought. So this is why, because I know there are a few other authors who have self-published or not, doesn't matter, but they're on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and they ended up selling like 30 books, but it was a bestseller in their category because they were the most sold in that category on that day.
Right.
So the target of selling 1,000 is a personal target that's been established for this group, as opposed to something that's required to be a bestseller. Am I correct on that?
No, the numbers that I have gotten from all of the webinars and all the courses that are out there and from what I have read about Amazon bestsellers list, you need to sell between 500 and 1,000 books to be a bestseller on Amazon. That's your goal.
Well, it hasn't been a requirement of the other people that I know who have gotten the title of a bestseller on a certain day in a certain category.
Yeah, well.
So that's why I was
I don't
asking.
know how that works. I'm sorry, I really don't know how that works. I'm just going by what I have learned. And
Yeah.
sure, if we get to a bestseller with less books, great. That's awesome.
Yeah, and don't quote me, because like I said, I'm just guessing at this. But if we pick a category that say there was only 100 books that sold in that category, then yeah, you wouldn't need the 500 to be a bestseller in that category.
Yeah.
Right.
I would guess that 500,000 kind of an average, and this is what you should shoot for, so that you're in the safe zone to be a bestseller.
Yeah. Anyway, those are just sort of general numbers that we look for.
Right.
I've been told that we look for in Amazon. So I would like to see us, if we were to get like over 3,000 to 5,000 books sold, we could be noted in the New York Times and some of those major publications. So, and we can do it legitimately. Like, I've read tons of stuff about guys who have sold 1 million books, and like Kiyosaki and some of these guys, they're wealthy enough now that from their book sales that they could just become a bestseller on all the platforms. They buy 5,000 books and they can buy it themselves, and they can do it. I don't know how they do it to do it legitimately, because now they'd
have to pay retail. They'd have to pay retail. That's the point. So none of us is going to buy 100 books at $20 a piece when we can get 100 at $8.
Yeah, the book is actually $25, and
yeah, okay,
I thought it was 30 on Amazon.
Yeah, and it's what?
It's $30 on Amazon.
Yeah, it's 29 something.
$29.90 whatever.
Yeah, and then you add $12 for shipping and handling on that.
On top of that, oh.
That's how much.
That depends. That depends on whether you have a free shipping account with Amazon, which costs you $90 a year.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, okay.
So maybe some of these people will.
So if we're getting them at the wholesale cost, is that including shipping, or we pay shipping on top of that $8 and whatever?
So who else have we got online here?
Oh, Rita Ann. Sorry, I came on late.
So Rita Ann, the, what I've paid for a box is the $8.74 or whatever it is that Dorothy quoted us per book times the number of books. Well, a case. I ordered a case.
Yes.
32 plus GST, and I think that the $8.74 included the shipping.
Okay, so it did include the shipping. Well, that's good.
Well,
And
but
so there is
a shipping
GST on that.
Yes, there is.
Yes.
The GST when the books get delivered to you.
Okay.
So the GST is not paid until you receive the book, then you pay it. And it was
Right.
When we sell the book, we don't have to charge GST, do we, or do we ourselves?
You don't have to. You can have it right built into what you charge for the book.
Yeah, but basically it's a GST-able sale.
You have to pay GST.
Oh, there is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so you charge.
So we should be charging GST?
you should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, some people will just say, well, you can have the book for $25 and GST included. So then you're
Right, but we have to calculate what portion is GST because we have to pay that to the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to go into the social media side of things, and we've touched on the 5 key areas that we need to be working on. So we need to be busy writing every day our blog, and that needs to be posted up on our blog. Our blog needs to be connected to our website and to all of our social media platforms. Now the main platforms that I'm going to talk about are just Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And there are some really great auto posting systems out there that are free. Hootsuite is one. It is a great auto posting system for social media. I used Hootsuite when I first started doing auto posting, and it saves you huge time because you can attach your LinkedIn, your Facebook, and your Twitter to a Hootsuite account. Hootsuite account.
Sorry about that. near a train track.
And it's not dogs, it's trains. Eh?
Yeah, well, I hope you're not on the track.
No, I'm sitting in a Tim Hortons parking lot that happens to be close to a track in Lacombe of all places.
Yeah. So, where was I?
Hootsuite or
Yeah, Hootsuite. But the thing is, on these free platforms, they do not give you any analytics. So with a little bit of analytics you have no idea the age group you're targeting that's reading your stuff, where they're from. You have none of that information. I use an auto posting system for all my social media called SproutSocial.com. Now, Sprout Social does cost money, but it has the best analytics of any of the auto posting platforms out there. And I got this information from a gal who's been doing online marketing for over 40 years. And she's tested all of these different platforms to help her with her auto posting. Her name is Bonnie Sainsbury. Brilliant head for social media marketing. And
why do we want that? What do we need to know?
It'll show
Who's
targeting the?
That's Rita Ann. Rita Ann is what you missed was that at the beginning,
Yes.
Christine told us how frequently we should be posting on each of the social media.
I did hear that.
Oh, you did. Okay, so
yeah.
So that you can once a week or once every 2 weeks, you can choose all the things you're going to post and schedule them. So you really only have to spend that one time on there instead of going on there several times a day or a week.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know how to do that though.
And all you have to do is I can set up a webinar to show people how to use auto posting systems. That's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
You can just do a webinar so you can keep all the costs down. And I can just do it. I'll just charge $20 per person just to do this webinar. Well, I'll keep it really cheap. And then what we can do is, the reason you want your analytics is you want to make sure that your message is getting to the right audience, right? So if your message is going out to and you see in your analytics that people 35 to 55 are reading your stuff, great. That's your target audience for this book.
Okay.
Right? But if you see that there's hardly anybody in any of the age groups, which shows up on Sprout Social, that is reading your stuff, then that's a sign that you need to tweak what you're doing with your posting online. And like, for instance, mine shows me that most of my followers are female on Facebook. It shows me that most of my followers on Twitter are male. And I've seen that from all the women's meetings that I've been to. Most women are not using Twitter. They're not on Twitter, not using it. And because they don't understand it, don't know how to use it. But with the auto posting systems for our social media, it is so much more simple. You can set up in advance. You can take I'll take one afternoon a month and just put stuff up there that I've been collecting so that I have it all scheduled, and you can use the 631 out of every 10 posts. So 6 are reposted that you have written, and 1 is a pitch for people to buy your book. And so it needs to be planned. You need to sit down and make a plan of what you're going to send out. And it takes time to get it set up. Once it's set up and you get it posted through your auto posting system, it's a breeze. Then you just need to check on it periodically. 15 minutes a day 15 minutes once or twice a day to check on it, because you need to respond to people. People will start responding to you on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter. So you'll need to respond to those key people. Now, I'm going to move on here. So we got to track our results so that we know what we need to tweak. The recommendation is that we need to start getting this plan together at least 4 weeks before our launch date. So we've got time to get this all organized and decide what we're going to put out there. And then we put it out there, and you start 4 weeks prior, and then 3 weeks before the actual launch, we start posting things online and sending messages out to people. But part of our prep work is this. We need to, whenever we send a message out, we need to ask people to please write a review for us and put it up on Amazon. Or they can write a review and put it up on LinkedIn. They can write a review and put it up on your book business page on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So they can, and people who are following you can write reviews on your book on your LinkedIn company page as well.
Christine,
yes?
When you talked about that auto setup,
Yes?
is that on each thing? Like, is there an auto setup in Facebook and an auto setup in, like, where do you get these auto setups?
Okay, I'll just use Hootsuite for an example. Okay, Hootsuite is a platform. It's a platform online similar to Facebook or LinkedIn, right? It's a separate. It's an online platform. And,
I'll be right back. 1 sec. Just keep talking.
okay. So I'll finish. I don't know if I should keep on talking about that. I'm going to keep on talking about it because we're going to record this, and then you can get it all figured out listening to the recording. So you take and you attach the link to your Facebook and your Twitter and your LinkedIn to Hootsuite. So then all you have to do is go into Hootsuite and post to all of the platforms at one time. So it all goes out. And I teach my people to set your posts up to fit Twitter. Because what happens is when they go into Facebook and LinkedIn, they automatically open up to fit Facebook and LinkedIn. So you don't have to design separate types of posts. And that's the beauty, part of the beauty of using a social media auto posting system. Okay, enough about that for right now. Let's move on. We're at 7:39. And so here, we need to ask for those reviews and give away, we need to give away 3 books. We're not necessarily going to make a lot of money on our books right off the bat. And everybody thinks that. We'll be working our butts off. Believe me, we'll be working really hard to market our book. And part of what we need to do is to reach out through our connections and see who there is that we can go and speak at their group or speak for their organization, and then sell our book in the back of the room. And those books,
yeah, I've got 3 of those set up already.
yeah, and those ones, what you can do, instead of having to buy your book, if it's a big enough venue, you can get them to order cases of books to have for sale at your venue. And then they pay you as a speaker to come and speak. So there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either speak for free, buy your books, sell them in the back of the room, you get the money off of it. It's a lot more work for you. Or go as a paid speaker and get them to order your books, and you can help them get them at wholesale. And you can charge.
But that doesn't add to your bestseller.
No.
Though, if they get them at wholesale.
Helps you make money. Right? So the whole idea is we're in business to make money. We're not in business to give everything away for free.
Correct.
And the only thing about doing this marketing on the 23rd is to see if we can get enough notoriety for our book that we can reach legally bestseller status on Amazon and maybe some other platforms. But if we whatever we buy at wholesale, those books are not counted in the bestseller list. Whatever.
Right. Okay. So just while we're on the subject of bestseller, then, so once there's a notification to Womanition that we have achieved bestseller in some category or something,
right?
Is Dorothy going to arrange to have new covers printed for the future editions that are going to say that they're bestsellers, or provide stickers or something for us to put on the copies that we sell after that? Like how do we then take advantage of that?
I hear you big time. That's a great question, and we can talk with Dorothy and see what she's willing to do on that. We might. I don't know what to say. We just need to talk to Dorothy about that. Stickers for bestseller. Yeah, those round certificate-like stickers, like what we put on our magazines as well.
Yeah, well, and another question then too. Do you know from the production standpoint, are books being printed on demand, or has a print run been done and then you have to go back to press?
No, you don't have to. As far as I know, they're print on demand, but I will double check with Dorothy.
Right. So once bestseller is achieved, then all of the future print on demand can have the cover change.
Yeah. Oh, that was another reason. That was another reason that we did not do Amazon.ca, is because we could not get anybody in Canada that would give us that would print on demand, basically. So she's using a U.S. printer.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to ask for reviews. Make sure you're asking your people for reviews and as they read the book. So even if they don't buy the book on Amazon, they can still go on Amazon and write a review. They can write a review on your book on LinkedIn. So you'll need to set up a category, another category for experience, just for your book, so that people can go on there and they can write a recommendation for you. It's called write a book review for that book.
On LinkedIn only?
On LinkedIn. People can write a review on your company page, and they can write a review on your company page on Facebook as well. And if they, wherever they want, if they write a review and send it to you by email, you can then post it on your main home pages for both Facebook and LinkedIn. And it's pretty hard to put it on Twitter because it's too many letters, too many characters. So here's a trick. I want to tell you about this. There are contact book bloggers. They are, or you can go to Amazon reviewers to get more reviews. So it's hard work, but you can contact these people. They're author marketing clubs. They have there's a company called Author Marketing Clubs Premium Services. You can hire them to help you do this, or you can just do it yourself. And you can find reviews of books that are similar to ours, and then contact those people that have written reviews for those books and ask them to write a review for our book. So that's a way to reach out to people who aren't necessarily in our immediate list, and educate that, you know, we're all responsible for marketing the book. It's not up to Dorothy to market this book. It's not up to the publisher to market this book. We all are authors, and we need to all be working on marketing this book together. Now, if you've been writing books and you've got a blog, and if you, do you all have a blog?
No, I don't.
I do.
Okay, who said no?
Who was that?
Lil said no.
Oh, Lil.
Just go to website for Lil Lazar, and it seems to me, because I remember Brandon saying something about that there's a blogging option.
Yeah.
So, and if I can do that through the website, I know that then it would probably have a thing for Facebook and Twitter that it would just automatically post it to them too. So I'll check into that.
Okay. It's really important to have a blog because we need to start talking about this. It works similar to crowdfunding. If you know anything about crowdfunding, they are free sites. They're like little mini websites, and you can invite people to come and donate money, right? We're inviting people through our blog to come to our Amazon.com site and purchase these books. And you can also use your blog for talking about speaking engagements. I'm going to be speaking at such and such a place on such and such a date. Send the link. Set up invitations on Facebook. Use that event invitation on Facebook to the nth degree. I use it all the time to the nth degree. I invite people to all of my events using that. And then you send it out. And this is another thing. We all need to be connected to each other on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And I have tried to connect with everybody in the Womanition, from the Womanition meetings, taking their business cards when I get home. And I'm surprised at how many women I cannot find on LinkedIn. And they tell me they've got a profile on LinkedIn, but I can't find them. They're not showing up. So I need people to try to reach out to me and connect with me, because I know they'll find my profile. And the reason I can't find them probably is because they haven't been active on there. They barely set up their profile. And so the search engines aren't finding them. And the more active we are on all of our platforms, the more the search engines like it. It's like they're little cookie monsters. They want to eat their cookies. And so anytime you make a change, an update, add a new picture, add a new post, the search engines find you. And I'm not bragging, but because I've been doing this so much,
And Chairman. Sawyer pulled his coat tighter around him.
Who's there? So I haven't checked this for a little while, but last time I checked, I went to Google and I Googled Christine Till, the marketing mentress, and I was all over Google, the first couple of pages. And it's because I've been so active on that. So that's how you can get yourself noticed on the search engines. And I use Google just because it's the most powerful search engine on the net. That's why I use Gmail and Google search. So new content is really important. So when you write a new blog and you're writing something about your about our book, you need to have fresh thoughts. So to get you, what I'm saying is you want to get people to click on your stuff. And the way you get people to click on your stuff is you create massive interest. So what are they going to click on? What's going to keep them awake at 2 o'clock in the morning? What's the stress that your book, your chapter can solve that's going to keep your clients awake at 2 o'clock in the morning? So what are they going to click on? So I'll just tell you one example. I have one of my radio shows, I interviewed a guy who has invented or developed an environmentally responsible fire extinguisher. It is only 9 inches long and 1.5 inches in diameter, but it packs the same wallop as a 10-pound fire extinguisher. He has his website set up with example fires that he's done, contained fires, to show the impact of both fire extinguishers, the 10-pound and his fire extinguisher. We interviewed him. I wrote a blog about him that got posted. Within 24 hours, he got a call back from Orange County, California, saying, oh my gosh, we've got to have these throughout our entire county, because that little fire extinguisher will fit in a glove box, and everybody should have one in their car. So here's the thing. He had this fire extinguisher that could go out, but nobody would have clicked on it if the caption wasn't really eye-catching. And so what I put on the subject line when I sent that out and posted it was, help, my house is burning down, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Well, everybody's going to click on that, like, what in the world is going on here, right? So it's got to be something that people are going to click on. And some samples of titles or subject lines that you want to write will be things that are unfinished statements. I lost my heart when ... My dog just ... Unfinished statements that make people go, oh gee, what's he just did what? So things that are, and bearing in mind who your audience is and what's going to keep them awake at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I have a photo shoot. What am I going to wear? Oh my goodness, I broke my necklace. My one and only necklace is in the jewelers, or some silly thing. I'm just trying to pull out some thoughts that people might want to click on so that they will read your stuff. And so my wedding is in 1 week. I have no jewelry. Or my wedding is ... Or, you know, I'm just, Rita Ann, I'm trying to help you with some thoughts and some ideas on
Thank you.
Post. So Eva, what's your business again?
Make Life Happen.
So who's your ideal client?
What's my topic? My client, I'm a counselor. I'm a registered counselor, a trainer, a mentor, and an educator.
Okay, so what kinds of subjects do you help people with? What kind of topics?
Well, as far as a counselor, things like anxiety, depression, abuse, those kinds of things.
Wow.
Yeah, very deep things as far as counseling is concerned. As far as mentoring, it's really to help women with their self-esteem and to empower them.
Okay, so here is something people will not click on. They will not click on, read my blog here, or listen to my podcast here. They will not click on that. But if it's something that registers with them, resonates with them, and it could be, my boyfriend beat me, ...
Yep.
I mean, something really that's gonna, my boyfriend is a ... You know, something that's going to make people really think. My dad died ... Lil, for you, and you can use the ... You can also use complete statements, but they are short and quick, and people that they can just glance at and get in a minute. Your blogs should be no longer than 250 words. My husband tells me all the time, you need to cut words. You have too many words.
So a blog should only be 250 words?
250 words, yes. Keep them short. So if you've got a blog that's 750 words long, you probably could make it into 2 blogs.
Okay.
Or even 500 words. You could make it into 2 blogs. And just, it teaches you to just cover one topic or one subject at a time.
Right.
So Lil, with you, I would say, help, my one and only bra is in the wash. Or, have you ever had that letdown feeling? My one and only bra is in the wash. Or, you know, something like that.
Sorry.
I stole that from one of my girlfriend's moms. When I was a young girl, I was about 11 or 12, and I was staying overnight at my girlfriend's house. It was on a weekend, and we were there. And because we all lived on farms in a rural community, I'd go home at night. We'd go home with each other and spend the whole weekend, and then come back to school on Monday, and then go home on our own bus on Monday night. So it was like Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, a whole long weekend affair, right? Well, on Saturday morning, I'd be staying at my girlfriend's house. I was there Friday night. Saturday morning, we were sitting at the breakfast table. But it was just us girls. The guys had already had breakfast and gone out to milk cows and stuff. Or they hadn't come in for breakfast yet, one of the two. And she's sitting there in her house coat. She said to us, 12. She says, have you ever had that letdown feeling? I went, where's this going? I'm thinking, right? My one and only bra is in the wash. So you should use that, Lil. I think it'd be perfect.
Christine?
Yes?
I think if everybody's feeling like me, I'm going into overload. So we're going to have a recording of this, but what are we going to have in terms of like key points, priorities, that kind of thing? Because I already do a blog. I already have a newsletter. I already have a robust profile on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I have a business Facebook. And so for me, I think that just learning how to set up the separate things for the book on Facebook and LinkedIn is going to be important, and perhaps on the topic that I wrote about.
Right.
So maybe I end up with like two more profiles on Facebook and LinkedIn, one that relates to the topic and one that relates to the book.
Right.
But there's some people like Rita Ann doesn't have a blog, and she's
I won't be starting a blog either.
No. So just in terms of the essence of what we're trying to do here, you're not going to get everybody to do what you're asking them to do right now. It's like, why would we go to all that trouble, all of us, when most of us are at the beginning of our learning curve?
Okay.
So I think we're going to need something from you or from Dorothy that just says, you know, here's the basic stuff I need from you. First priority, second priority, third priority. And if we can at least do those parts, that's a good contribution to the whole. And those who are good at this other, then that group can be formed and they can be each other's mentors.
I hear you.
Is everybody kind of on side with me on that?
Yeah, I do agree, because I've got LinkedIn, I've got Facebook, and I have Twitter. So those three things I can focus on, because I'm hardly ever on Twitter and LinkedIn. Facebook I'm on maybe once or twice a week. But for this book launch, I will switch that up so that I'll do whatever Christine is saying about having to be on so many days or so many times each day. But I still don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
But she talked about the auto thing set up.
Posting.
Yeah, so maybe that's the one thing that would make your life easier, would be just the session on Hootsuite. So you've already said you can do something like that, Christina, for $20 or something,
Yeah.
which would probably be worthwhile for us.
Now, is Hootsuite free, or do you have to pay for that?
Hootsuite, H-O-O-T.
Oh,
like an
Hootsuite.
owl.
What is Hootsuite?
Yeah, it's like what an owl says. Hootsuite.
Hootsuite.
And S-U-I-T-E.
Oh, suit.
Yes.
I thought.
Hootsuite, as in S-U-I-T-E.
Oh, okay.
S-U-I-T-E. Yeah.
Not hoot and not toot. I got them two wrong. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. And yes, Hootsuite is free for the basic level anyway. The other one that Christine was talking about does have a fee attached, but Hootsuite would be fine as a step up from where you are, I think. Right, Christine?
Place to start, you know.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And because I manage other accounts as well, I have so many accounts that I have a paid platform on Sprout Social because I have to manage the analytics for all my accounts. And
yeah, and that's your profession. For us, it's only a part of our marketing. So
yeah.
So we need this simplified so that we don't say, okay, that's too much, I can't do it. We need to know what's the one thing or the two things that each of us could do that's within our reach.
Okay. Get your
so that the whole benefit.
All up and running. Number one, profiles up and running on all your social media platforms. Make sure they're all set with your company pages. Those are all free. And you can start anytime reaching out to people. See, here's what you can send out to people to ask them for help. You can send out an email similar to this. Where's my list here?
What if we did something like, because this is all happening on October 23rd, right? It's the big day.
Right.
What if you kind of made it like it was don't say what it is and say keep going, you know, working towards October 23rd. Mark down October 23rd on your calendar. Something big's about coming up, you know, and like to really build it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What we are doing is we're forming a launch team. Okay? And then
right.
each class needs to ask people to help us with this launch. And you give people on your team that you ask other than us as authors, so people that you invite to be on the launch team, on your personal launch team. And if we all have a little personal launch team of, like some of these guys have gotten as many as 197 people that have volunteered to help them market their book, right? So we should start inviting people to want to be on our individual launch teams.
So Christine, I'm just going to ask another question. I know it sounds, so what if like each day or every other day or something, an email comes out to each of us saying, today post a choice of this, or this, so that we have very specific things we can do without each person having to be an author,
That's a great idea.
Start from the ground up. And I'm not saying that you should do all the work, just that in terms of bite-sized pieces and how we're actually going to get everybody into action, myself included, it's much easier for us to just have a schedule that all of us can have and that we get a reminder about. Today, say something about this. I'm just throwing it out as a suggestion. You still probably need some volunteers to specifically volunteer for something so that you're not doing everything. But if you're coordinating the team, that might be a really good way to make sure everybody does something.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a great idea. But for right now, get all your platforms ready so that you're ready to go, and start reaching out to your tribe to look for people that can help you get the word out.
Yeah, but what does that mean? Reach out to the tribe.
Reach
What
out
does that mean?
and just say,
How do we do that? Like I'm going to say, yeah, go ahead.
hey, I've just published a book, and the book is out. Our official launch is October 23rd. I'm looking for some help to get the word out for that day, for the big launch day. And
So we put this on like Facebook?
yeah, you can put it on your Facebook, your LinkedIn, and your Twitter. And if you
Okay, so that's what we're starting by getting the word out.
yeah,
Okay.
you want to ask people to come and help you get the word out. And
Okay.
what are you going to give them? So you got to think about, what are you going to give these people for helping you? What is the benefit?
So like what? What do we give them for helping us?
Well,
I mean, just for forwarding the Facebook?
yeah, for helping forward the information. Well, a lot of people will just do it. They don't care whether they get anything. But some people, they would like to have maybe access to you. Maybe they'd like to have a 25% discount on an audio course. I'm going to talk to Dorothy about that.
Yeah, an audio course is different than a piece of jewelry or an hour of coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So what it sounds like, just the feedback. I don't want to be a naysayer. It sounds like it's going to cost us a hell of a lot to sell a book that is going to maybe net us 8 cents. And that the marketing that we do face-to-face with people buying books at the back of the room, or us using the book as a very high-end brochure, is going to give more immediate results for us, which is why it has to be really simple for us to be a team to promote this.
Right.
So how to simplify that would be the main thing that I would think. And you're right. First step, get your platforms up and running. So that could be the first email that goes out to everybody. This is the first thing we have to do. Let's have it done by ba-da.
Yeah. So I'm going to just make a list here, because you've given me some really good food for thought.
Yeah, like, you know so much, Christine, and it's so awesome because you have so much knowledge and information, but I kind of lost you about a while back. I felt very, I was almost like, okay, I'm ready to throw up. I don't know what to do or where to start. And so, because, I mean, and I know a little bit about Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and what I learned from you with LinkedIn and with that course, I learned a lot from it. Mm-hmm. But there's still so much I don't know. And so, just giving that breakdown and doing the baby steps, I think, will be really helpful. And so everything you're giving us and saying to us, and if you can break it down and just give us one step at a time each day, and each day we'll do those things, and I think that's going to help. Like, whatever you're doing, you find easy. I don't find it easy.
Okay, well, here's the secret.
Okay.
I was where you are once. And unfortunately, we have to go through that to get.
Oh, no, I know that. I'm all for learning it. I do want to learn it. Yeah. And I know it's stepping stones, but I have to do it in stages is what I meant. Like, you're giving so much information. I don't know where to start.
Right. I understand.
And actually, we don't all have to go through everything you've gone through, because our professions are not coaching others on the internet.
No.
One profession is bras and meditation, another is selling jewelry and so on. So the parts that we need to be on this team is what we need to get up to speed on.
Yes. We still need to market ourselves. And so, and I think to have those basic 3 platforms in place will be really key. Those of us who blog, great. we'll maximize our blogs. And I think what we'll do is we'll set up another webinar for next week. And let's choose a day next week to follow up on this, because we want this next week. We're already in the middle of September, right? So it's going to be 5 weeks before the launch date. So we can do another webinar on Friday the 18th in the evening. That's the only evening I've got available next week. Or we could do it a little bit earlier in the day on Friday.
You'll be recording it too, right?
Oh yes, I'll record all of these.
Friday the 18th, that looks good. And when Lil talks, I can't even hear what she's saying.
I can't hear much from Lil either. I barely can.
Is that better?
No, I think you've got your computer turned way down.
I'm on the phone because I couldn't figure out how to get into the computer.
Which is a better time, 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock on Friday the 18th?
It doesn't matter to me.
7 o'clock.
7
So
o'clock?
I won't be making this. But it's recorded, so I'll listen to
That's
that.
fine. So we're going to do a follow-up.
Conference call.
Yeah. And we'll just have the one call, and I'll record it so that everybody that can get the information from it. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a simple list that can just be sent out to all of you.
Great. That would be very helpful.
Yeah. Now, all of your emails are in the book, right?
Yes.
They should be. Yeah, but they're also in the list, in the email that Dorothy sent us.
Oh, right. If I can access it.
Because it's just for the ones for the book, not the magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Any other questions? So I think we brought up some good points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You like it. So the next conference call is next Friday, the 18th at 7 p.m. I'll send you the Zoom link so that you can get on either make a phone call into this conference call or get on with your computer.
Yeah, I was supposed to be on tomorrow, and I'm on tonight because I can't be on tomorrow morning.
That's okay.
So that'll be recorded too, because there might be different things there too.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Quick question to Christine. If you're giving feedback to Dorothy, what would it take for us to get those gold sticky labels to put on the front of the book that say turn to page whatever is the page for our article?
Yeah. I've got a note.
Okay.
So sticky notes for the page that you're on, and sticky labels for bestseller when we get to bestseller.
Right. Yeah, well, and also then, changing the cover. If it's print on demand, just give them a new cover for the print on demand after that.
Yeah. So the main thing is that we're all on the same page and we're working as a team. And here's what we all need to be connected through our social media. So if you could all please make sure that you look up Christine Till on LinkedIn and Christine Till on Facebook, and it's the @ MKTG Mentress on Twitter. And look me up and follow me. And then that way I can make sure I'm connected with you, and you guys we can get everybody connected with each other.
Perfect.
Okay?
Okay, cool.
Well, we have a list of names. Like if you give if somebody sends an email with the list of all the names, that we have the correct spelling and everything, so that when we go to LinkedIn and we search that name, then we shouldn't have a problem finding it, right?
Right. That's very good. I'm going to go through the book and get everybody's proper email and name.
Okay.
or have,
Thank you, Christine, for your time.
no problem.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks, Christine.
I think, and I'll tell you next steps next time we talk, okay?
Okay,
Perfect.
have a great weekend, everybody.
You too.
Yeah, you too, Redan.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for your
Bye-bye.
time.
You're very welcome. You're welcome.